Hey there, this is Toasted Gaming, and welcome to another episode of me spending way too much time ranking every single game that ever touched a specific game engine. If you've seen my other videos where I ranked every game made with a Quake 1 engine or my Gold Source engine ranking, you already know what you're in for. And if this is your first time here, hey, you're in for something very educational and unreasonably opinionated. Today we're diving into every known game developed using Unreal Engine 1, the absolute granddaddy of one of the most iconic engines in gaming history. Before Unreal Engine was turning Fortnite into $1 billion empire or powering photorealistic fish simulations in UE5, there was this janky beast from '98, flexing hard lighting effects and bot AI while your Pentium 3 tried not to catch fire. But here's the thing. Unreal Engine 1 didn't just power Unreal and Unreal Tournament, it powered some licensed gems, underrated shooters, cancelled horror games that crawled out of development hell, and yeah, even a nerd FPS, and an educational puzzle game with rocket turrets. That's the spectrum. How did I rank these? Mostly based on my own taste. Deal with it. But I also factored in critic reviews, user reception, cultural legacy, and how much fun I actually had revisiting them or watching them fall apart in front of me. So yeah, this isn't just a Metacritic score dump, this is my definitive ranking, made with love, frustration, and a lot of drinking. And if you want to binge more rankings like this, I've got a playlist on my channel with all the other engine rankings, and yeah, I'm planning more. Like even right now while I'm writing this script, I'm taking breaks to play games developed with id 3 engine, so yeah, that might be the next video. And if you guys want to support me, you can now join my channel. You get early access to every video one full week before everyone else. Plus, if you join, your suggestions for future videos become my top priority, and your name goes into the list of absolute legends who made this video possible. The more members join my channel, the more time I can dedicate to these videos. So, strap in, maybe grab a drink, and let's go deep into the world of Unreal Engine 1, where the lighting is moody, the AI is bloodthirsty, and the polygons were charmingly jagged. We're starting off strong, with a game that proves not every early Unreal Engine title was meant to be remembered. DNF Outdoors Pro Hunter is what happens when someone says, hey, what if Unreal but with deer? Developed by Dreamforge, this hunting sim tried to add realism but forgot one tiny detail, the hunting part. There's no real tracking, no suspense, just you walking through chunky polygonal woods waiting for something to wander into your scope. It's like camping, but with worse lighting and more disappointment. Critics were mixed, and honestly, so was I. Mostly mixed between boredom and confusion. Let's talk about Disney's Brother Bear, also known as what if Unreal Engine was used to babysit your 7-year-old cousin. Now, to be fair, this is a kid's game, so I wasn't expecting Deus Ex. We'll see Deus Ex later. But even by licensed game standards, this one is barely functional. It's got some charm, colorful visuals, and a few decent minigames, but it's also buggy, kind of aimless and clearly rushed out faster than Kenai transformed into a bear. Reviews were all over the place, kids liked it, adults broke their PCs trying to run it. That's not the kind of legacy you want, especially when the movie was already mid. Now we have New Legends, a game that should have been a cult classic, but ended up as an Xbox exclusive footnote with identity issues. This game had cool ideas, futuristic Chinese settings, sword and gun dual combat, a storyline that wants to be epic. But when it faceplants on the execution, bad camera, janky controls, weird depths where your character just ragdolls into the void, it's like It was trying to commit ritual seppuku before the credits rolled. And get this, it was originally supposed to be a PC game before getting nerfed for console, which really shows. This is one of those almost cool games that hurts more because it had potential. Infinite Machine made this their first and last game, and yeah, that name aged like milk. What's next? Dr. Brain, Action Reaction. The game that said, let's take Unreal Engine and use it for science homework. But weirdly, it kind of works. This game has puzzles, traps, a bizarre villainous organization called Spore, which means sinister people organized really efficiently, which is either genius or terrible, and a goofy sci-fi vibe. It's like Portal's awkward older cousin who never got invited to the party but still brought snacks. With 45 levels, physics puzzles, and music that randomly shifts from soft rock to techno, it's like someone poured Red Bull on a textbook and shipped it. It's not a masterpiece, but it's oddly endearing, especially if you like your puzzles with a side of nostalgia and rocket turrets. XCOM Enforcer is what happens when someone at a publisher says, what if we took our thoughtful turn-based strategy franchise and turned it into a third-person arcade shooter with explosions, robots, and absolutely no subtlety? And someone else said, sure, why not? It's 2001. To be fair, it's not a bad game. It's mindless fun. The kind you'd play on a Friday and forget by Monday. But for fans of classic XCOM, this felt super disappointing. Unreal Engine holds up okay here, but everything else screams we needed something on shelves yesterday. Bonus points for chaos, but minus all the points for betraying the family legacy. This next one is technically a pinball game, but it's also a 3D platformer? Well, kind of. Adventure Pinball Forgotten Iceland is one of the weirdest uses of Unreal Engine 1. Imagine if you took a pinball machine, gave it a plot, threw in enemies, objectives, and the actual environments, then just stood back and said, yep, that's a game now. And you know what? It kind of works. It's janky and weird, but also kind of brilliant in that only in the early 2000s way. It's like if Sonic's Pinball had an Unreal makeover and a minority identity crisis. Is it fun? For a while. Is it weird? Absolutely. And is it forgotten? Completely. And maybe that's part of its charm. Okay, wait. Let's clear the air. Yes, Duke Nukem Forever uses Unreal Engine 1. Even if it's been so modified over 12 years of development hell, that the devs just started calling it the Duke engine. It's like UE1 got duct taped, welded, reanimated, and slapped with a cigar. The game started development in 97, switched to Unreal in 1999, and just never left. The final product, a chaotic blend of outdated mechanics, cringy one-liners, and level design from an alternate dimension where the time stopped in 2003. But as broken as it is, it's kind of a gaming monument, a relic of what not to do in development. And for that, it earned its spot here. It's not good, but it is unforgettable. Also, I made a video where I ranked every single Duke Nukem entry, so check that out on my channel. Before Star Trek games got all strategic and serious, Klingon Honor Guard just wanted you to shoot stuff. And honestly, it's kind of cool. You play as a fresh recruit wielding brutal alien weapons, slicing and blasting your way through a campaign that's equal parts cheese and chutzpah. It was one of the first UE1 games ever released, and while it's buggy as hell and the level design sometimes feels like a maze built by sadists, it did push Unreal's early capabilities hard. Think of it as the Doom of Star Trek, loud, bloody, and not particularly logical, but definitely a cult favorite for people who like their sci-fi with extra phaser fire. Now, this one has a lot of names. Started development as The Lost, it was released in India as Agni Queen of Darkness, in USA as Netherworld Beyond Time I Stand, in Europe as Inferno, where death is your only ally. So many names. But is it good? Well, I mean, it has a lot of story. Originally called The Lost, like I said, this horror action game was developed by none other than Irrational Games. Yeah, the BioShock people. And it was meant to drop on PS2 and Xbox in 2002. It got canned despite being basically finished, but later got resurrected in India, Poland, Russia, and the US, and there are a bunch of new names. And somehow through all that chaos, it's still a pretty good Silent Hill meets Dante's Inferno type deal, starring grieving mother who makes a deal with the devil to rescue her daughter's soul. You switch between 4 hellish entities like a stealthy thief, a healing witch, a melee beast, and a nuke mage with skeleton vibes. It's janky, sure, but the ambition is unmatched. This is what happens when a cancelled game has a lot of potential. This one? A total sleeper hit. Mobile Forces is one of the most underrated multiplayer shooters of its time, and one of the very few Unreal Engine 1 games that tried to do vehicle combat before it was trendy, being Counter-Strike with jeeps and slightly less toxicity. It's fast, it's tactical, and for an early 2000s game, it's surprisingly smooth. Maps are solid and weapons feel right, but sadly, it dropped during the same era as Battlefield 1942 and Halo, so it got completely buried under stronger marketing budgets. But for the real ones who played it, this game was awesome. The good old Harry Potter PC games. Back when licensed games actually tried. So Philosopher Stone on PC is not the same as the console versions. It's definitely not the same as that legendary PS1 version. And yeah, this one absolutely runs on Unreal Engine 1. The game mixes exploration, spellcasting, Quidditch, stealth missions, and flying keys into a surprisingly magical package. Sure, the graphics look like someone turned a wax museum into polygons, but the atmosphere is there. It's charming, clunky, and full of that early 2000s PC game junk we all secretly love. For kids who grew up with it, this was Hogwarts. And even now, it's got enough nostalgia and weird British voice acting to earn a solid middle tier spot. This one started life as a mod for Unreal Tournament and ended up becoming a full retail game, which was becoming a trend in early 2000s. Tactical ops is like if Counter-Strike took a vacation in Unreal Land, but forgot to bring silencers. It's tight, fast, and surprisingly polished for something that began in someone's bedroom. The gunplay is satisfying, the maps are classic LAN party material, and the community was seriously passionate. There are still servers. When I was playing the game for this video, I saw that there's like 20 servers still. There's rarely any players, but I'm sure there are days when you can find few servers with people, so it's still playable online. It doesn't reinvent the tactical shooter genre, but it absolutely holds its own. Especially if you miss the days of planting bombs and yelling at your friends over dial-up. Now, this is how you do a licensed game right. The Fallen lets you play through 3 parallel campaigns as Cisco, Kira, and Worf, each one giving a different POV on the story, which is actually pretty damn good. The gunplay is solid, the environments are moody, and the whole thing feels like a lost season of Deep Space Nine. Except with more shooting and less paperwork. The Unreal Engine gets stretched in all the right ways here, and the attention to detail is top tier. For Trek fans, this is as close as you'll get to blasting Cardassians without getting court-martialed. This sequel didn't just fix what Philosopher Stone fumbled, it leveled up. Chamber of Secrets, PC version, not the console ports, was one of the best games to play as a kid in early 2000s. Hogwarts feel more alive, the puzzles are smarter, the spells are cooler, and you can actually explore in ways that feel magical. Sure, the voice acting still sounds like it was done in a broom closet, but the gameplay loop? Legitimately fun. It's one of the few licensed games that actually feels like devs cared. And even today it still has its fanbase, and it's still worth playing. Listen, you can laugh all you want, but Nerf Arena Blast is absolutely great. It's basically a real tournament for kids, except instead of blowing people into chunks, you blast them with foam darts and collect coins like it's a Nickelodeon game show. It's bright, fast, and way more addictive than it has any right to be. And yeah, it uses Unreal Engine 1 like a champ. Multiple creative modes, great maps, and solid mechanics make this more than just a novelty. It's genuinely fun, and if you grew up with it, you already know this game had no business going that hard. Rune is what happens when Unreal Engine says, put down the plasma rifle and pick up a battle axe. This Viking-themed third-person hack and slash is all about brutal melee combat, decapitations, and throwing swords like you're auditioning for Norse John Wick. It's dark, stylish, and had one of the earliest, truly fun melee systems in 3D gaming. The environments, gorgeous for the time. The vibes, pure Valhalla. Multiplayer was also a bloody good time. Literally. It didn't get the love it deserved back then, but today, total cult classic status. Yes, Postal II, the game your mom probably tried to get banned. And look, it's controversial, it's offensive, and it is absolutely cooked in the head. But it's also running on a mutated, heavily tweaked Unreal Engine 1, and it works. I kept thinking if I should or I shouldn't include it in this list, because I always thought it used Unreal Engine 2. I mean, 1 year before Postal 2 was released, Unreal Tournament 2003 used this engine, so I thought it was definitely Unreal Engine 2. But this one post by developer changed everything. It's Unreal Engine 1.5, and that works for me. I'm including this here, okay? So in Postal 2 we have open world sandbox, absurd freedom, NPCs that react to your chaos, and enough dark humor to wake up the dead. Whether you're delivering mail or peeing on protesters, and yeah, that's a mechanic, there is no denying this game made a huge cultural impact. Love it or hate it, Postal 2 became an internet legend, and Unreal was the madness engine behind it all. This one's a hidden gem that deserves way more love. The Wheel of Time is a single-player magic FPS based on the fantasy novels, and while it has no dragons or swords, it does have a spell system that goes harder than most modern games. You play as Elena Sedai, slinging defensive wards, illusion magic, fireballs, time manipulation. It's like Harry Potter meets Quake. The level design is top-notch, the campaign is surprisingly deep, and the multiplayer? Underrated gold. It's one of those games that makes you go, wait, how is this not a classic? Well, it is now. I mean, at least on this list. If Gothic horror had a baby with a first-person shooter, and that baby read Lovecraft at bedtime, you'd get Clive Barker's Undying. This game oozes atmosphere, with whispering ghosts, blood-stained mansions, and a magic system that actually feels useful. It's like Doom got a literary degree and a Ouija board. The storytelling is haunting, the visuals pushed Unreal Engine 1 to its limits, and the voice acting still gives me chills. Criminally underrated, Undying was ahead of its time, and honestly, it deserves to haunt more people's hard drives in 2025. The one that started it all. Unreal wasn't just a game, it was a statement. This thing launched with visuals so jaw-dropping, it made Half-Life sweat. The lighting? Revolutionary. The AI? Shockingly smart. The vibe? Alien, lonely, mysterious. Exploring Nepal felt like being dropped into a living sci-fi painting, and the game made Unreal Engine a household name overnight. It may not have aged as gracefully in gameplay terms, but the ambition, the scale, and that legendary first reveal of a castle after the Vortex Rikers crash, still magical, still iconic. Let's not even pretend this wasn't going to be near the top. It was super hard choice between first and second place, but in the end I decided to put it here. So Deus Ex is the game that made every future game dev go, oh wait, we can do that? Cyberpunk storytelling, RPG systems, stealth, hacking, shooting, multiple solutions to every problem. This game did it all. And then casually said, your choices matter, before it even was cool. Sure, the gunplay is a bit potato by today's standards, and it looks like everyone's made of wet cardboard, but everything else is perfection. Ideas in this game are timeless. Deus Ex didn't just use Unreal Engine, it flexed it with pure creative ambition. The King, the GOAT. The game that turned Unreal Engine 1 into a religion for modders, LAN warriors, and arena shooter freaks. Unreal Tournament isn't just fun, it's pure multiplayer perfection. Tight movement, iconic weapons, legendary maps, and bots that were smarter than half your teammates in Call of Duty. It was moddable to hell and back, with mutators, custom modes, skins, the whole 9 yards. And unlike so many shooters of its time, it still feels good today. UT didn't just define a genre. It left a legacy that echoes through gaming history. Long live the flag cannon. And there you have it. Every Unreal Engine 1 game ranked. I really doubt you're gonna find more games. I thought roll cage games were made with Unreal Engine because of one comment on some random Unreal Engine video, but those games are awesome. But I didn't find any confirmation. If you guys know if roll cage games were made using Unreal Engine, tell me in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button like it's a Scar warrior charging your spawn point. Leave a comment and let me know, which positions would you change? What did I rank too high? What did I disrespect? Did I make you reinstall Nerf Arena Blast? Be honest. And if you want more chaotic deep dives like this, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell, so YouTube doesn't bury my next video under some Minecraft video. If you got an idea for the next video, drop it in the comments. I read everything, even if I don't respond to all the comments. And if you join the channel, you'll not only get early access to future videos a full week before everyone else, but your video suggestions jump straight to the top of my list. Plus, you'll get your name in the credits like the legends who made this one possible. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and remember, just because a game runs on Unreal Engine 1 doesn't mean it had any idea what it was doing. Catch you on the next one.